Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to my F1 Road to Glory series for 2019 for season number 2 at the Canadian Grand Prix today. Last time out we were at the Monaco GP, and it's safe to say we had a very quaint, tame, almost mundane Sunday drive around the Principality, I think you'll agree, of waiting behind Verstappen and, as we go around the outside of Sergio Perez, and Perez hits the wall, and he tries to take us out there, and then Magnussen, he's just got it wrong, hasn't he? He should have realised where his rear right was. He just didn't know where it was. Oh, okay, maybe I stretched that explanation of what Monaco was like, but none of it was my fault. So that's the important thing there. None of it was my fault. But anyway, we're here at the Canadian Grand Prix. Looking forward to this one because this is one of my favourite circuits on the game, and I think our car should go pretty damn well around here. But as has been the case in the last few episodes, I'm counting on my team letting me down in fantastic fashion once again in terms of, oh my god, I don't believe what I'm seeing. No failures? None? Fuel injection system completed. Energy store cell positioning completed. Cable assembly, that's not a real upgrade, completed. This is a miracle. This is a time to celebrate. This is a monumental occasion. Bob, get the champagne out of the kitchen. We don't have any champagne. Why don't we have any champagne? Oh, because Williams never win anything. Oh, okay, fair enough, lad. We are super close to a works team. Renault are just there. They're like maybe 2 minor upgrades away, maybe even 1 minor upgrade away from being there on paper. This is the start of the road to glory. Forget the 20 whatever episodes before that have gone before. All for nothing. This is the start of the F1 Road to Glory. Nothing can stop us now. We're on the road. The momentum is building. And much like our front wing that flies off at a tap, it's just going to go flying from here. I'm actually so happy right now. I'm on cloud 9. We're going to my favourite circuit as well. So what could possibly go wrong now? Oh, for crying out loud! Well, thanks for that. Ruined my episode. Right, let's get into this then. Qualifying. At least we can try and enjoy this at least. All dry and sunny. Pretty much perfect conditions. So, I don't know where on earth the rain's coming from then for tomorrow, but there we go. And at the moment, you can see our car is flying through the first sector there. It's actually looking pretty grippy as well through the corners. We're still in P1 somehow. Hamilton just pips as we go through that right-hander. And then a big lock-up at the front left unfortunately loses us about 6 positions in one apex there. We're down to about P13 now as we enter the hairpin. But as we go on to the back part of this lap, you can see already in the acceleration zone, gaining 3 positions from P10 to P7 in this qualifying session there, opening up the DRS there, and the car remains in P7. It looks like we're going to maybe have a good chance to finish in this lofty position. One final chicane to navigate there, and we get through that without hitting the wall of champions. We're still in P7, and we're still going to be there when we cross the line. It's going to be P7 for tomorrow.
Excellent lap. We're really pleased.
Yes, Jeff. Yes, finally, man. Your actual excitement levels match what we've just achieved there. P7, and look at that splendid sight. Robert Kubica up in P12. Even that man can't ruin this car around this circuit. Absolute rocket ship through Montreal. And look at that. He's only 2/10 off. He's really improved. That's how good the car is, though, around this lap, around this circuit, that even Robert Kubica's AI car couldn't mess this up. And he's even only 2/10 off me because the car is doing so much work to drag him up the order and not be last place or second last place. Absolutely amazing. P7, P12. We could have a very good chance of 2 big points paying positions tomorrow, actually. I forgot it's actually raining, so that percentage chance of that good result happening has gone down by about, let me do the maths, run the numbers, about 85%. But nevertheless, we have to move on. We have to actually tackle this. It's going to be another absolute thrilling strategy there, as you can see. So much action, so much pit stop strategy. I love it. I love it. Yes, full wet tyres for the entire race. Oh boy, this is going to be, well, I've got to hope for another mundane Sunday drive Monaco-esque race, really, if we're going to get through this, because otherwise I feel like I'm going to fall asleep at the wheel. I know, it might sound odd falling asleep at the wheel of an F1 car, but the Williams go so slow that it feels like I'm actually just sat down in my living room. But here we go then, to 5 red lights, to the Canadian Grand Prix from P7 on the grid. It's my lucky number, so hopefully this can be a lucky race for us. It's an okay start. Hulkenberg's had a good one, trying to maybe hustle on Harry Verstappen into turn 1. Absolute blind wall of spray ahead of me as Albon tries to move around the outside. We block him off there and remain in P7. It's a side-by-side moment there for Carlos Sainz, our bitter rival in this championship so far in the McLaren team. He's going down the inside of Verstappen potentially, so he could be in a very lofty P4 perhaps. I think there's a bit of contact though. Yellow flags, and Verstappen is out of the Grand Prix for the second race in a row. He's taken himself out, because that's what happened at Monaco. He took himself out, and you can't say anything other. And so we're up into P6 then, and I think Kubica also got through. He did not get held up in the crash. There's 4 people DNFing out of this GP already, but Kubica was not one of them. So already both of us, as I speak, we're both in the top 10 shootout. So calling on the FI, can we just red flag this session, please? Yeah, there's a red crested coot on the apex of the hairpin, and that's going to be dangerous, because that will blur into the red paint of the apex. No one will see a thing, and then you've just got a bird v an F1 car. We know who's going to win that. The F1 car. Have you seen them at Monaco? Oh, they're brittle as Lego. So lap number 2 now, chasing after Nico Hülkenberg. The car actually looking pretty okay in the wet conditions. The corners are not amazing. I've felt better in an F1 car on the F1 game, to be honest, but on the straights, this car still has acceleration. You saw it actually before. Even in Monaco, we had some decent straight line speed to try and make some overtakes and try and make some moves. Of course, Monaco was a bit more of an interesting time when we actually tried to make the moves, but I think here at Canada we've got space to work with, so much room for activities here at Montreal, so I think we should be good. You can see we're closing up at Hülkenberg, even through the last chicane, not looking too bad there, so it's only a matter of time. I think on this next lap, as we move on to the back straight, we should be able to get the run through the hairpin on the exit there as we wind through hot lap mode, rich mix, just trying to feather the throttle as best we can and get the power down, then full throttle and stamp it on the loud pedal, up in the gears, overtake mode engaged. No DRS, of course, but we don't need it. Look at this car go on the right-hand side. Hülkenberg tries to squeeze us on the right very cheekily, but we're not having any of it down the inside. He's on the outside. We slow it down early, switchback move on him, and that's going to be a textbook switchback, because look at the speed we get on the inside line there, and we're up into P5, and this car is actually looking like a genuine race car for once. I don't actually believe it. Moments later, though, the virtual safety car comes out then for Valtteri Bottas out of his Grand Prix in the Red Bull there, so he's having a torrid time in this second season of this series there, and so this is giving me time now to calm things down, compose myself, make sure I'm not bleeding from my nose being this high up in P5 in the wet in the Williams car, and you know, maybe just start in the cockpit, get my hands together, send a few prayers to F1 gods potentially, because Carlos Sainz is still ahead of us here in the McLaren. I don't know how he's doing it. The McLaren team, very, very good this season. It's almost like they knew that I wanted to try and challenge them for the best of the rest spot in the midfield. So Sainz very much there. As we go green then, I think we lost a little bit of time to Sainz, to be honest, in that virtual safety car period, which is quite annoying actually. But we move on to lap number 6, and we're now closing up on the McLaren there. The McLaren may be good in the corners, but it doesn't have the engine we have. It doesn't have the team we have powering us. You've got to believe in ourselves. So here we go now, down the back straight, and we've got a good run at Carlos Sainz, and could we make a move? There's yellow flags though up ahead as we enter the chicane. We won't be able to overtake him unfortunately due to yellow flags. We have to go just nice and easy there. Sainz maintains the position, but then we go green again on the main straight. We have a good run. Sainz a little bit slow potentially there, caught napping a little bit after the yellow flags. And so can we go for a move down the inside? It's going to be a bold dive, but Sainz just about lops us off there, and I lose all sense of balance there as we go across the grass, and that was we tapped the left-hand side of our car on the grass, so lost all shapes of sorts, triangles, squares, parallelograms, I don't know, is that even a shape? I can't remember how. We move on to lap number 7 then, second time of asking for this overtake now on the Spaniard and our main rival in the championship, McLaren. So here we go, trying to get the best exit possible, get the power down as early as we can in 5th gear, then overtake mode, engage, and so already, as soon as we went to overtake mode, the car just finds the car just finds a 9th gear, and we shoot past Carlos Sainz up into P4. This is truly biblical. This is truly biblical. A Williams car hasn't performed as well as it has in the wet like this since 1980, whatever the year was. And truth be told, from that point onwards, it was actually quite a smooth race for us, just doing our thing. Jeff was being Jeff once again. Actually asked me in the middle of a lap if I could actually part water like Jesus or something.
The circuit's definitely looking better than it was a few minutes ago. If we can just move a bit more of that standing water, we might be able to get onto the intermediates.
Yes, Jeff, I can actively try and move some of that water for you. Don't worry, I know you want a clean track ahead of us, so I'll do my bit. I'll get in the mop out middle of the circuit and just do some mopping, shall I, to try and get rid of that water. I mean, what do you want? Have you and Claire met up already for a little smoke up? So as we go on through this Grand Prix, then the action is not on me. It's actually behind Carlos Sainz being attacked by Alexander Albon, and this is important to watch because, of course, the further down Carlos Sainz goes, the better for our team, of course, because I believe Lando Norris is behind Kubica. So Kubica's doing a stellar job, actually, still being just about in the top 10 and beating Lando Norris. So he's beating his respective McLaren. I'm beating my respective McLaren, and you can see there, Sainz has been overtaken by Albon, but he comes back at him, unfortunately, though, down the inside. That's not what you love to see, to be honest. I want to see that silver arrow ahead of that papaya orange car, but alas, Carlos Sainz gets the move back, and it looks like it's going to be very close between Raikkonen, the Racing Point car, as well as the Haas. Then Raikkonen down the inside of Hulkenberg, then makes a big dive into turn one. They're side by side. It's a beautiful little move there by Raikkonen, but Hulkenberg comes back with the elbows out. So some great racing here, stuff you just don't get with Williams, to be honest. And so Hulkenberg on the right hand side, Raikkonen on the left. Can he pull it around the long way around? Hulkenberg goes a little bit wide and understeers into Raikkonen, and there's contact, and that is Raikkonen out of the Canadian Grand Prix. And there goes Robert Kubica picking up the pieces, gets one more free position. Attaboy, mates, attaboy. And there you can see confirmation he is ahead of Lando Norris. You know, Robert Kubica, absolute top man here. Forget about what I've said in previous episodes. Absolutely top bloke there, doing the job, in the points. That's what we love to see. So moving to the latter stages of the Canadian Grand Prix, then Albon and Sainz still at it here, side by side in the McLaren and the Mercedes. They're closing up to me, though, because the rear tyres on my car are fading pretty damn quickly. So it's safe to say the tyre wear on this Williams car is definitely not optimum there. The rear tyres, I believe, are already up to about 40% here in a 25% race. Pretty crazy. But there goes then Albon. He's trying to send it on the outside. Sainz keeps his nose in there with a big dive bomb to the inside of the hairpin to keep this fight alive. On the exit, though, a bit of a squirm there for the McLaren. I think he's lost the place. Yes, he has, but he will get a good run and get back in the slipstream. So this is really unfortunate. Once again, are we going to see Albon being overtaken by the McLaren? I think we are. This time, Sainz on the outside there, and it's getting very feisty indeed as Sainz cuts across him there and gets very aggressive there with the Thai Brit driver. And so it's going to be Sainz up into P5 once again, Albon P6, and still goes Hulkenberg in P7 there. And it looks like Albon will hold that through, unfortunately, as we move on to lap number 18 then. We are going to finish up, though, in P4. That is the only thing that matters. We have conquered the Canadian GP. We've got probably the highest position I could have hoped for in the full wet. It's been a stellar drive, and so in celebration, we're going to whack this car into the wall with joy.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Yeah, Jeff, I took care of the car, right? I definitely took care of the car. Don't worry about that.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. How do you feel the weather affected the outcome today?
You know what, Claire? No, it didn't affect our result. It really didn't. We drove that race as if it was dry. And you know what? I am going to use the cheesy pun. It didn't dampen my spirits. I want to go kill myself now. God, jeez, why did I say that?
Do you think you were lucky not to end your race with that crash?
Yeah, it was a bit scary out there with some of those near misses. And, you know, our car is made out of just hopes and dreams, really. No materials, actually. So, yeah, I think, you know, the car can't take much of it. And the team should know. They should know about that, to be honest.
Appreciate your time.
What a result, though. P4, Robert Kubica gets 8th place. So he gets 4 points there. 4 whole points for the Polish man. Unbelievable. That has been probably one of the most joyous episodes of Road to Glory since its creation. They're absolutely amazing. Up into P6, overtaking Carlos Sainz to the Driver Championship. That's amazing for us. And the Constructors, unfortunately, though, because Sainz gained so much on us at Monaco last episode, we're still behind McLaren there, but we've closed the gap up, and I'm confident in the next few episodes we should be able to try and overhaul that and overturn that and get back up to where we rightfully should be in that midfield fight there. But towards the end of this episode, then, I talked earlier about tyre wear and the Williams car not really being too great at it, so we're going to spend some resource points on doing a minor tyre upgrade, which will be very useful for us, I think, because I think at the end of stints we're losing pace when the car could go faster at the end of those. But unfortunately, that's a little bit awkward then for me. Getting that upgrade kind of leaves me in the awkward situation of not having enough resource points for any of the major upgrades we've got on the aero and engine side. So we're going to have to only have that one minor upgrade come in for the next episode. So I swear to God, if that fails, our one and only upgrade, that will be pretty peak tyre times there, but we're just going to have to wait with bated breath and see how that pans out in the next one. But guys, if you did enjoy this episode, then be sure to smash that like button. Let me know your thought in the comments below. If you are new around here, do subscribe for weekly full-on content. I've been aarava. I'm just say goodbye.